SAMCRO didn't spend enough time on their bikes. SAMCRO didn't spend enough time on their bikes. Outsmarting the feds doesn't really happen. The motorcycle gangs and really all of the criminal organizations in Sons of Anarchy are experts at one-upping and outdoing authorities. SAMCRO has Sheriff Wayne Unser in their pocket, and when FBI agent Judith Stahl comes to town hell-bent on taking down the club. In Season 3, there's an entire storyline devoted to Stahl trying to get the club to turn on Jack's butt. In the end, he's been manipulating her the whole time. Jax offers to give up the true IRA, the Irish Republican Army, in exchange for getting his mother, Gemma, out of jail. Stahl tells the club Jax is a rat. She loses everything and soon ends up dead. In real life, undercover ATF and FBI agents infiltrate motorcycle clubs in order to get information. Several members of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club were found guilty in federal court for criminal activities in 2010. The prosecution would not have been a success without the dedicated and hard-working agents and prosecutors that devoted several years to this undercover operation. The club didn't outsmart anyone, nor did the federal agents allow their personal grievances to get in the way. Motorcycle clubs generally don't run adult film studios. When SAMCRO tried to find more so-called legitimate ways of making money in Season 6, viewers rooted for them. Jax does his best to convince his fellow members to get out of drugs and guns, and instead turn to pornography. In many real-life clubs, this wouldn't fly, as groups like the Banditos, the Outlaws, and Hell's Angels have been involved in trafficking substances such as methamphetamine and cocaine. That said, some motorcycle clubs are content to avoid criminal syndicates and organized crime entirely. The 13 Rebels Motorcycle Club claims to be a family-oriented motorcycle club with no drugs, intimidation, or crime. Most motorcycle clubs are more explicit in their racial biases than SAMCRO. Throughout the different seasons of Sons of Anarchy, SAMCRO works with the Mayans, a Hispanic club, the Lin Triad, a Chinese crime syndicate, the One-Niners, an African American club, and numerous other groups of different ethnic origins. This defies the mentality of many motorcycle club members, who are much less likely to work with outsiders. The cooperation on the show makes for good television, but many bikers are more outwardly intolerant, and tattoos associated with neo-Nazis and white supremacist groups are common. Juice 40's attempting to hide his African-American heritage in Season 4 is fairly reflective of the racial divide that exists within modern clubs. Women are more respected on the show than in most clubs. In line with Gemma Teller and her role on the show, the overall treatment of women in Sons of Anarchy is more favorable than in real motorcycle clubs. Women in motorcycle club culture are more often treated as possessions than anything, and if an old lady isn't married to a member, she's often treated like a prostitute. Even when she is married, she may still consider herself his whore. There's a lot of accepted brutality directed at women in motorcycle clubs, too. Domestic violence does appear in Sons of Anarchy, notably when Clay Morrow beats Gemma Teller in Season 4, but in real life, it's much more intense. Gemma Teller would have been punished for her meddling. The great matriarch of Sons of Anarchy, her husband and son, Clay and Jax, are at the top of the SAMCRO pecking order, but in true biker culture, she wouldn't have this much power. Put another way, Gemma's position in the club ain't gonna happen ever. She'd have been taken out back and corrected halfway through the first episode in the real world. And if she didn't learn from that experience, it would have been repeated as necessary until she finally learned or left.
The initiation process is even more extensive than lifeSons.
During Sons of Anarchy, the audience meets newbies like half-sack Epps and filthy Phil Russell. These men undergo a period of probation and some hazing, but the show hardly depicts the extent of the true initiation process undertaken by new motorcycle club members. Called prospects, new members undergo a plethora of initiation rituals that vary depending on the club. In some instances, they are subjected to beatings, humiliated, stripped naked, and put out on display, for example, or, in extreme cases, forced to cook and consume human waste.
SAMCRO kills way more people than real motorcycle clubs.
Clubs get into turf wars, they fight with one another, and yes, deaths do happen, as was the case in a 2015 incident in Waco, Texas. Jax Teller's kill count of 46 people throughout the duration of Sons of Anarchy, however, is a vast exaggeration. SAMCRO, or Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club Redwood's original murders: 153 people, 175, if you count pre-club killings and murders carried out by excommunicated members during the 7 seasons of the show. That many murders would have certainly been noticed by authorities to a higher degree than what's shown on screen.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.